Alright, so 3 days ago on Sunday, today is Wednesday the 27th, I did a hive inspection to see if the queen was laying. The queen was not laying, so I talked to my friends that made me the split, and they had frames of Russian brood that they could spare. So my friend brought me 2 frames of Russian brood, and I exchanged those 2 for 2 of the new frames that I'd put in there. The bees had not started drying those 2 frames, so I swapped those out. So that had brood, larva, and eggs on those frames. So hopefully we'll know if there's a queen now, because if there's not a queen, then they will take one of those eggs and start drying queen cups on both of those frames. Or if there is a queen, they just won't have done anything to it, and they will just have like gone through the natural brood rearing process. But it's raining, or it just stopped raining, and I really hope it stays not raining, because it's rained a lot. But so hopefully we'll go in, and hopefully either they'll have a queen cell that they've started to draw, or hopefully we will see some more eggs and we'll know that there's a queen there. I also put a pollen patty on, and that seemed to have really helped, because before I put the pollen patty on, there was just like static movement among the bees, and they wouldn't really go, there wasn't a bunch of activity. They would just like sit on the landing board, and then ones would just fly out of the hive, and then they'd come back and there would just be a bunch of bees sitting on the landing board. But the day after I put the pollen patty on, the bees were going crazy. Like, there was so much activity in the hive, so I definitely think that that pollen patty helped. But hopefully the rain holds off, and yeah, I'll just go check. Alright, so the smoker is lit, and I'm gonna do the inspection now. Oh man, they've eaten so much of this pollen patty. Jeez, that's insane. Oh man. The last time I did the hive inspection, I forgot to focus the camera, so everything was out of focus, which really sucked. But I'll show you guys all the progress that they've made today. That's crazy. They've eaten so much of that pollen patty. Oh man, this thing is just coming apart. Like, that's the first half. So this was like a big pollen patty, and they've eaten it all this way in 3 days. So I think that it was definitely the right move to put a pollen patty on them. I think it was this frame. Yeah, these 2 frames were originally the new frames that I'd put in, but instead I took these 2 frames out because there wasn't a lot of comb drawn, and I gave them to my friend, who gave me 2 frames of brood, and then I swapped out these 2 frames right here that were partially drawn, and I moved them, no, these 2 frames, yeah, these 2 frames, and I moved those there, and then I put the 2 frames of brood right here. So I'm gonna check these 2 frames, and then the new frames as well. I think I'm just gonna check to see if anything has developed, and if the queen has started laying, or if they made a queen cup. Well, they've got a capped swarm cell. That is not good. There's a capped swarm cell down there at the bottom. Shoot, I really don't know if there's a queen in this hive. So there were 3 or 4, no, there were 5 swarm cells on the bottom of that frame. And then, so it's this one. These bees don't seem too happy. I don't know what happened to the queen. I don't know if there is a queen. It's not raining, that's just like the breeze knocking like water off of the leaves. Well, the good thing is I don't see a swarm cell on this side, and not on this side either. So it's still like not definitive. There's a bunch of eggs and larvae on this frame. So yeah, I really don't know. Ouch. That's so cool. But yeah, there's just a bunch of eggs and larvae on that frame, and there's no swarm cells or anything. But honestly, there's just a ton of bees in here. I'm wondering if I should add a second box to this, because these bees are already like super full. I just want to check this this frame and this frame to see how far they've gone along. Yeah, so all these old frames, like this one, this one, this one, and then these two wooden ones, those were all full of nectar and honey. When I did the hive inspection on Sunday, and then all the new frames, there wasn't really a lot of activity. Dang, they've started drawing a lot of comb. If you can see that, are there eggs? There are no eggs on that side, and on this side. But yeah, they started drawing a bunch of comb on both of the sides. Maybe one in this way. I'll just drop the frame. There's honestly still a ton of bees in this hive. That's cool. You can see, or I can see, there's bees eating through the capped honey. Oh man, they've really started drawing this frame out. That's great. Still no eggs on that side. And on this side either. Yeah, they're just starting to draw those frames out. These bees have been busy. There's honestly just so many bees in here. Alright, so the camera just shut off right there. I don't know why. But yeah, let's just see if this frame has any new developments. It definitely looks like it, which is great. Oh man, yeah, they've really started drawing out this frame. No eggs, but I mean, it's fine. I don't even know if there's a queen here. Yeah, so they've just started drawing out the frame on both sides. Alright, so I was thinking about the hive inspection that I just did, and I was thinking about like all the frames and those two new frames that were there, and I remembered that on both sides of the frames when I first got those two frames, there was brood on both sides of them. On one of the frames, those brood had hatched, and there were eggs and larvae in place, and I completely forgot, because those were the two frames that already had eggs and larvae and brood. I completely forgot that there was brood there. So I'm actually going to go back out there and check that single frame, and if there are eggs there, we definitely have a queen. Alright, so yeah, like I said, I'm just going to check one frame, and hopefully there are eggs on that frame. That would be amazing if there were. There are eggs and larvae. There's eggs. Yes, that's awesome. Sweet. Her laying pattern's amazing too. There's a ton of eggs on this frame. Alright, I'm gonna make sure. I can't believe I missed this. Alright, so I do not see the queen on this frame. That means she's on a frame nearby, probably, because there were no eggs. Dang, there's eggs over here too. Yep, we have a laying queen. We have a laying queen. Throughout that entire frame, there are eggs. You can't see it because there's a lot of bees on top of it. But yeah, we have eggs on this frame. That's awesome. Alright, sweet. So I'm just going to put this back. I might make a split off of this because there was that capped queen cell on this frame. Nope, this frame. So I'm going to come back this weekend. And if there are more eggs, then I will make a split. But if there's no more eggs, then I'll just let it wait. So the queen has started laying, so that's great. We have a laying queen. Starting to rain again. They've got a bunch of resources in there. They have a capped queen cell on one of the frames. On the other new frame, they have one capped queen cell. So I'm gonna come back this weekend with another, with probably a nuke. And if there's no more eggs, then I'm gonna make a. If there's no more eggs being laid, then I'm gonna leave the queen cell there. If there are other eggs, then I'm going to take that queen cell and I'm going to make a split, so that means I will have 2 hives, which is awesome. So yeah, today was a good day. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.